problem. There isn't a big problem. But then says the Q-tips, those are a huge problem for people that don't get. Well, I've burned my mouth on food, and I've never gone deaf thanks to a Q-tip. So, 21 dick. Mag, fucking retarded. It's cool. Stop bringing a fucking dog.
Yeah, Sean. We got a lot of emails this week.
Yeah.
Wow. Shitload of emails. Did you know why? Yeah, because I put on the intro for the last episode. Will Sean bring in a problem? Will a bunch of people find his email on the Who page and pressure him into it? We'll find out on the next episode. You can tell I never go to the site, huh?
Yeah. So that guy's an idiot. I don't know if what we just heard was brilliant satire or just the ramblings of a dog. And I think it's the latter because if it was brilliant satire, he would be using confirmation bias to call in and make the case that Q-tips never have made him more valid, whereas he is definitely the roof of his mouth like that. Also, it's an incompetence problem. I saw a comment on SoundCloud. Someone commented and they said, "Hey, Ramos, so running your mouth on hot food is an incompetence problem, but jamming Q-tip in there is not. How is that not an incompetence problem?" You guys are all idiots. You didn't pay attention to the part of my problem where I said it's an addiction. They are saying that it's comparable to smoking a cigarette. And I've been trying, since I brought in that problem, trying not to use Q-tips, and I keep forgetting it's an impulse at this point. And it didn't used to be so bad that there's this little tingle in your ear that you have to itch it every single time. Feel it. I've been trying to use them like you do, where I can get off from it. Yeah, I can't figure it out. Like, I still just use it to get the water out of my ear. See, there wouldn't be water in your ear if you didn't take the wax out. The wax prevents water from going in your ear. No, around like my...
That was dumb, man.
Like the parts of my ear that are flapping. Yeah, I'm taking my headphones off right now so you can see it. Yeah, right there.
You don't use a towel?
Well, yeah, but you can't get a towel.
You don't need to. You just wipe it off with the towel.
Look, you and I are going to have a shower together so we can get this all figured out. I don't know what the fuck you're doing in there. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I got to watch and take notes.
We're going to do it for the bonus episode coming up.
All right, I got another riddle.
Hey, it's Dustin from Grand Central, Colorado. I just want to say that this trip amazing. And as a son of a child who is hard of hearing and has to have hearing aids, I would love so much for somebody that is proficient in sign language to do one of explain in sign language. I would do it myself, but that having been said, I'm not female, so when you see a female like signing really hard,
Man, you signed off on the call there. But that's where the call should have ended, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's calling. Yeah, we get cut in half.
There you go.
Wouldn't the sign language for one of Dick's rants just be like a big middle finger? Just static?
It'd be a lot of waving, a lot of this, putting your hand up to the forehead and pushing your hair back, and sweat. We need a lot of sweat. What's the sign language for sweat? It's just actual sweat, right?
No, none of that's how sign language works.
I think it is.
No, it's not like a pantomime. Playing charades.
No,
Yeah.
I saw the guy. I saw the guy at Nelson Mandela's funeral in Africa who was signing. He was doing a great job. Yeah.
All right.
Nobody remembers that.
That's
I know what you're talking about.
That's a great segue to start our problems. Because everyone knows that all I care about is helping society and addressing big problems. That's why I brought in domestic violence. We fixed that. That's why we brought in female genital mutilation. Fix that.
True.
Right?
Actually, Nigeria banned it.
Yeah, all here. So, I wanted us to have an episode in this February, Black History Month, right? Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows it's Black History Month.
Yeah, but what does that even mean? It's not like breast cancer month where it's just like an excuse to put a black guy on a package and sell it, right? Because
Yeah,
that's what
I
breast
know.
cancer month. Here, put a pink ribbon on some orange juice. Here you go. You're thinking of tits now when you're buying orange juice. They don't do that for Black History Month, do they?
I want there to be black people on more of my products.
I want there to be OJ on the OJ.
Yes.
So I can think about black people while I'm buying the OJ.
I want Cosby on my pudding.
Yeah.
Well, you already have Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, that's two
Okay.
products.
Okay.
And those are year-round, Sean. I want
shit.
specific Black History Month products.
Yeah, I want endorsements for
Yeah.
the month.
I'm so glad you laughed at that.
Okay. So Denzel is a black guy.
Yes.
Yeah, right out in the open for everybody to know. Because some people thought Tim Chain was a black guy. He's not a black guy.
No.
You can't tell over radio.
No.
He's
And-
just a
and-
skinny weirdo.
And he's not a DJ. Fuck you, Tim Chang.
So I wanted us to have a problem that dealt racial relations in the world and in the U.S., but I wanted it to come from someone who's experienced them and who's educated about them, right?
Yes.
And it just so happens that Denzel is both an engineer and a Black Studies major. Correct? Ex-Black Studies major.
Yeah. So, funny story. I was gearing up to go back to school, and then my mom passed away. So I just said, no, I'm not gonna go get this dumb degree anymore.
You were done with it.
Yeah, I still keep up with all the stuff because it's still an important part of my life.
Yeah.
Seeing as how I used a lot of my years and time on it, outside of closing the incognito tab and reopening it.
Outside jerking off.
Outside of jerking off.
Yeah,
Yes.
we all have that in common.
Everybody needs a hobby, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's very important to me.
What is? Well, so let's hear. So for the first time ever on the show, we're having a guest go first, and we'd like to hear what is your problem this week? The biggest problem in the universe?
Being black.
Being black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As mentioned at the top of the show, it's tough because I don't actually believe that being black is the problem. It's people
Right.
reacting to you being black.
Sure.
That's a problem. And it's tough to say. It's tough to say. Like, why these problems exist, but they do. And I don't think there's an easy solution for any of it.
Wait, what about this, Denzel? For the semantics of your problem, because you went back and forth at the top of the show before we started recording about the wording of being black, because being black implies that being black is the problem as opposed to people's reactions. So what if the problem was black reactions? Because it could work either way.
That's way worse. Black reactions is a way more
Oh my
insulting,
goodness.
No, I don't think so.
problem.
I think
Only
it's
because
fun.
you're picturing it in the one way you're picturing it. Picture it the wrong way.
Yeah, I did, and then you listen to the episode and people are like, oh, this show's really clever.
Okay. Well, so for your problem, I've got a special thing here because I'd like to try to make it through the whole episode without being called a racist. Right? But I'm gonna need your help.
Tough call.
I don't think I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna need your help on that. I've brought in some race cards here. They're four pieces.
Oh my
they're four
goodness.
pieces of construction paper: green, yellow, orange, and red. Like the terror alert. You're familiar with the terror. Everyone knows the terror alert.
Yeah, of
right?
course, very helpful.
Yeah, very helpful to
Yeah.
know whether we're always in the process of being attacked by terrorists.
Right. I like to go out. I go out on days that are orange or yellow, never red. I stay home when it's red. Yeah.
It's a thermometer of how good a job the NSA is doing, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's an orange, presumably the NSA is like, oh, we really fucked a lot of things up this week. Let's try to do better.
Or they are doing their job. I think if it's red, they're on high terror alert. We know what the color is. Yeah,
Anyway.
it's very useful.
Anyway, we're gonna start off on green. I feel like that's a good start. If anything starts if I start approaching being a racist, you pull the green and make it yellow.
Okay.
Okay? All right. I'm gonna leave that up to you.
I'm very liberal when it comes to this sort of thing. If basically the only way you're gonna get to red is if you say the N-word or something.
The actual N-word or the phrase the N-word?
Can I say it? No.
Well, you can do.
You can say
You can say whatever you want, Denzel. That's kind of the point, isn't it?
It's really the least we can do.
Denzel, you can say it, but just be warned, buddy, because my hand's near that red card too.
Okay.
I'll be part of that card.
What are you?
What?
What are you? You're gonna say I'm a racist?
I'll pull
Or
that
you
red
say
card.
he's a racist.
I'll say anyone's a racist.
Okay, so if
How
anyone's a
condescending
racist,
is that? Don't get offended on behalf of other people.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
But
jeez,
I'm just calling
that's a huge problem, Sean.
It is, Sean.
Okay,
I'm
well,
glad, I'm glad you brought that
let's
up.
hear your problem.
Let's get to the problem. Yeah.
So initially, when I was doing the research, it was full of a lot of stats, and I ran it by Dick, and Dick said, "You know what? You got to make it more relatable." So I brought in a bunch of anecdotes. One of the problems that I have regularly is with racial profiling, right? So racial profiling with the police is probably a good thing for the most part, because
Sorry, say that again?
racial profiling is probably a good thing with the police.
Okay.
Mainly because, I mean, look, if you're a cop, it's tough because you can't just pull people at random, right? And I mean, you could really, but the issue comes with what neighborhoods you're patrolling and who you're looking at for crimes. And yes, the statistics will back up, like in high crime areas, there are a lot of minorities living in those areas. So if you're stopping a high number of minorities, you're probably in those neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So if you look at stop and frisk, aka Terry stops, which in New York is when, without probable cause, police officers can kind of just stop you and search you. You gotta have your ID on you at all times, and if they find drugs on you, then you're arrested. But with the statistics that I found from NYCLU.org, a nonprofit that monitors police activity in New York,
Right.
So they found that most of the people that were getting stopped during stop and frisk cases, 81% of them were innocent. So chances are, and of that, it's 54% of the people stopped who were black. It's around 9%. You can get away with that.
Well, I guess that's what I'm leading into.
Yeah.
Like, how much of a prick can you be to cops?
I haven't tested it. I'm never going to, because you know, cops are people too, right?
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily go around messing with people that I know I can't take in a fight because they have guns. So let's say I start popping off all wild to a cop, and he's like, I've had enough of this. He pulls out his taser, his pepper spray, his gun, or anything. I could end up in a really bad spot.
Sure.
And it's easier to just go with the flow.
Well, you also said that I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you said you agreed with racial profiling a little bit at the beginning.
I mean, yeah, because there's no easy solution, right? I want to say, like, spread it out all equally. But if there's a high crime rate in an area, it's your duty as the police, and by being tax funded, you have to go out and see what's going on in that area.
I guess I should ask for you, just to agree with what you're saying. It's called concentrated poverty. We're looking at poverty rates, like black people versus everyone else. And this idea of concentrated poverty, where it's not like you imagine a poor area, and you think everybody's in there poor, but that's not the case. Turns out that an area that's predominantly poor is by an overwhelming majority black, where poor white people will be spread out all over the city, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's in agreement with what you're saying about why if you're policing one small area.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe you have some stats on this too, Denzel. But I think part of it has to do with a history in our country where we have in the past segregated black communities into red zones, and this is very apparent in Omaha. Actually, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Omaha in Nebraska, but you can see this clear demarcation in the city where there's the black neighborhoods and the white neighborhoods. And the black neighborhoods, they just look different. You can see the line. The house is more dense. The
They got
trees
Muppets all over them. Yeah, I know. I've seen those areas.
The trees, yeah.
Everyone's
Isn't that
learning how
where
to
the
spell.
Isn't that where the phrase like the other side of the tracks comes from?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
What do you know about that, Denzel? Because I'm sure you've done some research and you're like,
So, there are a lot of causes, and honestly, I can only speculate because there's not necessarily a way to pin down the root cause of it. But if you look at it, like racist rental and leasing agreements, or biases in who people who are renting out apartments and leasing apartments will rent to. So, let's say like me, for instance, granted, like the stereotype says, I have terrible credit, but for various reasons. So if I try to go rent out a place, credit is notwithstanding, they can say no for whatever reason. They can say your credit's not high enough, and I think 750 is a good score.
Yes, Chris.
700's all right, right?
yeah.
All right, so,
Even 600, you're doing okay.
oh, all right. So I do have
750. You got 750 principal. That's great.
I have
700.
680.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
So I've been denied based on my credit score. So I like a 680. You guys tell me that 680 is good. It's great news for me.
Yeah.
But if you say no and you cite my credit score, but my credit score is actually like decent, it's possible to say that you're denying me for another reason.
And where is this at?
I live down in San Diego.
What do you think they're denying you for? What reason?
You know, it could be a number of reasons. It could be that I'm black. It could be that I'm young. Like if they feel like if the combination of me being black and young in that apartment leads to them believing that I'm gonna wild out, throw vicious parties every weekend, and like be playing loud music all the time, then they could say like you don't want to rent to you.
Maybe the landlord was a really hot babe in her 20s, and she was just too tempted by you.
Oh.
Right. She doesn't want you as a tenant because she'd be too tempted passing by your room every day.
Because he's black?
No, because he's Denzel.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll take
Handsome guy.
I'll take either.
Hey, wait, that's a good question, because that was one of the funniest things I thought on your list was online dating.
Yeah. If you go online, there are a few sets of statistics that have come out from OkCupid, and there's another site that covers. It's like Colonel Mag. Never heard of it?
No, never.
All right, so basically, what they've come out to say is that on websites, interracial dating is becoming something that's not so common. And they released that stats in 2009, and I think they updated the stats in 2014 that say like basically if you're white, you got it. Like it's popping for you. You can get as many dates. Like people are more likely to respond to you if you're white, but if you're black or I believe Indian was the other race, like you're not really seeing much return in anything.
Sucks.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing. We know that if you were born a white male in the United States, you have hit the world lottery.
I think the white guys got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're homeless and black, you're probably not getting as much love as your white counterpart.
No, that's true. It's probably you do have a lot of disadvantages, but I remember another one of my black friends one time ago said if he had an opportunity to be born as a
What if it was
he said especially Hitler.
Yeah, Hitler had it going for a few years. He was a terrible person, but he could have eaten anything.
Well, he did a lot of
wanted
bad
in Germany.
things. I don't know if you say
He
he's a
made
terrible person.
he made a lot of bad art, guys.
Yeah.
Can we all agree his art is not that great? Yeah.
What else? What's the crux of your like? I get that we kind of have a racial profile and you have a credit story, but what do you think is the crux of your problem?
So, when looking at this problem, I feel like for the most part, it's what I have to deal with personally that really gets me.
Which is what?
So it's a lot of just, I don't want to say microaggressions because that's kind of a loaded term and pretty bullshit.
Don't
But
say that.
and it's
You're a real white knight, Denzel.
yeah, I'm out here white knighting for the black folks.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
You're the whitest knight there is.
Isn't it like a position in the KKK?
Yeah, that's a card. That's a card. That's a card.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Go to
get-
yellow.
Seriously.
You got an orange card.
Orange card, Sean.
No,
Orange card.
Inappropriate.
Well, I wanted to get it for like the Aunt Jemima thing.
Okay, I'm calling the red card, Sean. You get that for Aunt Jemima. There.
I'm totally taking Dick's bit.
It's
Yeah,
You're
you
there
are.
for everyone.
You're taking Dick's tip.
I said bit, you asshole.
So what are the microaggressions that you're so obsessed with?
so so here are a few anecdotes from my life that I've had to deal with.
Okay.
So as when I was living up here in LA, we went to this bar, and outside of the bar, there was this family, like there was a grandmother, I think, and a child. So, and they speak Cantonese, and my buddy speaks Cantonese. So the kid asked his mom, "Mommy, is that man made of chocolate?" In
Okay.
Cantonese,
Yeah.
and it was really adorable.
Yeah.
And my friend tells me, and the
You
mother
said come
turns-
over here and taste and find out. And then the cops
It's a
showed up and
child.
started being dicks and racist for no
Risking
reason.
you.
And the mother's response to the child was like, "No, honey, that's a nigger."
Oh.
And I was like,
Wow.
and this exchange happened.
Denzel, that's very,
Yeah.
very
Red card.
appropriate.
Denzel, you got a red card.
Yeah, yep. And like I regularly, I for the most part, I do my shopping exclusively online because I legitimately, when I go into a place, I'm followed around the store.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I was just talking to a black friend of mine the other day who said that she was walking around in a store and they follow you around, and it's different because you can sit there and you can observe them, and this isn't confirmation bias either. Just go do it. Like look inside. Like go to Abercrombie and Fitch. Like walk into the store and watch how these store clerks react to different customers.
Yeah, I went to.
Where were you at?
So first place was I was in REI, and second place was the Apple Store.
And they follow you around. And an Apple store? They
Oh,
follow
of
you
course,
around?
fucking
Yeah.
Apple.
Oh my
Yeah.
Those
God.
fascists.
REI, you think you're gonna sneak out with like a tent under your shirt
Right?
or something?
That's exactly like, oh, I'm gonna break into the jewel case and steal a knife and start stabbing up employees.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy because when I was in the Apple Store, I was wearing a hoodie, standing to the roof house in the front, and I could see this guy who's standing maybe like 20 or so feet away from me. He's like trying to get a look inside of it, and I'm like, after a certain point, like when I notice somebody's doing something, like I don't necessarily call them out, but he was looking inside, so I just take all the shit out of my pockets and I show him. It's like my cell phone, my keys, And
That sucks.
And I've
Yeah.
never been followed around like that, but I know I'm 100% sure if I'm gonna get treated like a criminal, I will behave like a criminal.
Oh,
like
dude.
it takes me, it takes every ounce of my willpower to not behave poorly all the time. If someone like that would nudge me a little bit over, it would be fucking bedlam. I'm like, oh yeah, no, you know what? I'm walking out with this monitor. Go ahead. What's the protocol for that? Yo, you figure it out, tough guy, because your job is not loss prevention. It's serving customers. This isn't your stuff. Like, you're not protecting your stuff. This weird part in your brain thinks that you should be protecting this shit, but that's not your job.
Not
So
at
let's see.
So, I have a note from Randy the racist,
Right.
and he's saying, "Isn't that racial profiling that you didn't think was bad?"
Well,
No,
I was
see,
gonna guess.
the
I was gonna
difference-
ask you too. Do you think that's ingrained racism, or do you think they've had experience with like black crime, like a predominant black crime?
It's funny because the Apple store that I was at in particular, and that's a good question, but the Apple store in particular, it's in a very, very white neighborhood, and like it's near UCSD, and so I think it's more so ingrained racism because not a whole, like I lived down the street from that mall for like 8 or so years, and I used to go to that mall every day, and it's rare to see like more than like 10 or 15 black people in an 8-hour time span at that mall. And like I would just buy Apple products online. Like I don't know who's physically going into Apple stores other than me on that day. Like, but it's weird.
Or
Like,
maybe don't deal with that horseshit and stop buying Apple products. How about
yeah,
that?
I mean,
How about
I would if
Yeah.
that were the case, then I would have to stop buying a lot of products.
Well, here's the thing. For all joking aside, seriously, everyone should stop buying Apple products. For real. No.
Where's the
Hear me out. Hear me out. Because they block my website in their stores. They censor me. Fuck Apple and fuck you for supporting Apple. That goes for everyone who has Apple products. Everyone listening right now in this room and everyone who's listening at home, fuck you. Because if Apple had their way, you wouldn't hear this podcast. You wouldn't see my website, and they completely whitewash it. Fuck that company. Fuck Apple.
That's a weird personal issue.
You know what? And Denzel, your ability to even say that sentence would be gone if Apple had their way.
Fair enough. I mean, it's not that the internet exists and you have plenty of platforms to publish
No, Apple shit. Apple garbage. Anyway, so moving on. Denzel, so a lot of times racist people, Donald Trump tweeted a tweet around that, where
Is
he
Donald
was,
Trump racist? I'm speaking on behalf of all black people.
so as the authority
Yeah,
on
that's the
black
right
people,
one,
yeah, on the ambassador of black people, honestly, no. I think he's just going with to get a rise out of people.
He's getting a rise out of second.
yes. Well, here's the thing. Donald Trump, I don't know. We don't have enough evidence to conclude that Donald Trump is racist. However, he does retweet a lot of racist people. People who are actually members of the KKK, people who have affiliations to neo-Nazis and the American White Supremacist Party and all these other different.
Guilty by association.
No, I don't think he is guilty by association. I'm just saying, one of the things he retweeted a while back was this statistic which says, the number of black criminals is higher than the number of white criminals, and the number of Mexican criminals, et cetera, et cetera. When you look at those statistics, it's very easy to confuse because it's not true. The majority of crime that occurs to white people is done by white people because they are the majority of the population. However, there is a disproportionate amount of black people who are in prison and who are incarcerated. Just by being pulled over, you are way more likely to be incarcerated as a black person than a white person because you have a much higher likelihood of being pulled over in the first place, and the punishments are much higher against black people once they are incarcerated. And some of that may have to do with I took a class in college called Education and Society, and in this class we talked about a very interesting phenomenon, which is they studied black students who went to different types of schools, private schools, public schools, schools in inner city areas that were impoverished, and schools that were in affluent areas. And they expected that if black students who went to the affluent areas with good parents, who tried to take an interest in their lives and tried to educate them, they found that sometimes those students still struggle. And there's he's a professor, a sociologist. His name is John Ogden. Are you familiar with his work? John Ogden, I highly recommend everyone read this guy's work. It's pretty telling, it's pretty informative. What he found is, when they interviewed these black students who were not doing well on tests, they asked them why, and they said because they didn't want to. And they viewed the test as, they associated that test with assimilation, cultural assimilation. And the more likely the kids were to answer this way depended on how non-traditional their names were. So if their names were something like Obama or
Denzel.
Possibly Denzel, they were more likely to do poorly on tests because they viewed that as cultural assimilation. And so they rejected it as part of their heritage, that they felt that they were plucked at some point they were plucked from Africa, brought here as slaves, and as that they were trying to become white, and they viewed that the test itself was one instrument with which white people tried to assimilate them.
What do you about that?
Yeah, what do you think about that?
That's definitely true, right? To some degree. To some degree.
That's a reach. That's a reach.
Yeah, interesting. Why?
I feel like that.
I'll tell you this. I know some white people who say the same thing.
It's
that they don't want to succeed also because it's rejecting their core.
It's like I don't know.
That could be the case. Yeah.
It just comes off as an excuse to me. So in school, I did pretty moderately, mainly because I didn't want to be there, and so I switched to a charter school, and that actually my grades shot up because
Charter schools.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
Yeah,
some of them are awesome.
Like
screw you, Robin.
Yeah,
work at your own pace and kind of dictate how when the work gets done and how fast. And a lot of it was just like, I can do the work faster. I don't need to sit here and wait for you to get there.
Yeah.
And
but what do you think of that rejecting the culture thing?
Rejecting that that sounds very Hotepian to me.
Like Bubba Imhotep?
No, it's a sect of people who are just like very focused on black people in Africa, and it reaches like levels of 45%ism. It's an ideology where it's basically like every person is a god, and so they talk to each other in a specific manner, and it's like a crazy ideology. It's not quite a religion, but it's very popular among black people.
Oh, interesting.
Where it was in the mid-90s. When you listen to a lot of like the 90s rap music, you'll hear people refer to each other. What's up, God?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So let me throw because I did white on white, homicide, 25, black on black.
Well, yeah,
Definitely.
What's going on?
So, so when you grow up in the impoverished area, you don't know what you don't know about the outside. Right? So you'll get stuck in like a cyclical ideology when you're living in like kind of a weak area where you sell drugs to earn money because corporations are paid out of the area that you live in because it's so run down and pulling apart. And the schools are closing down, so you have nothing to do with it. Right? So if you live in an impoverished area, you gotta get paid somehow. Right? So you sell drugs. And when you sell drugs and you make a lot of money in that, the likelihood of getting shot or being hurt goes way up. There's a reason why, at least when I was a kid, my mom used to tell me all the time, like, if you get involved in this kind of stuff, you'll either end up dead or in jail. And there's a reason why there are young OGs on the streets, right? I'm not saying that I'm from the hood or anything like that, and that I've got experience with gangs and drug dealing, but the reason why there's young OGs is because the older people are either dead or in jail. That's not something that's made up. Right? So you go out and you sell these drugs, you get this money, you get killed.
There's also that staggering statistic that said it was a really high percentage of black males who are of the fathering age who are just in jail right now. Some ridiculously high amount. I heard, right? Do you have that? Do either of you have that
No, I
statistic?
thought it was like 40% of the jail population. Or something like that. I don't know. You mean percentage of the population that's in jail?
Yeah. Specifically, father-age black men. I read some statistics about that. They talked about how a lot of kids might be raised without a father because
I got that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is another single parent family. Second, I think if you know that, it's fun. Like I see anytime I see about like rampant crime or anything like that, well, yeah, your dad's not around. You're totally fucked. Sucks not to have a mom. Absolutely would be horrible, right? If you have a dad, oh my god. Especially as a boy. Especially as a boy. Like, well, you got no God. You have no threat of punishment. Or is what I'm saying crazy?
I don't know that it applies. I know a lot of friends who are single. They have single parents, both male and female, just a mother or a father independently. They seem to be fine. They have different challenges.
Well, here's the confirmation bias. I mean, yeah, that's true. Indian single parent families. Indian 52%, Asian 16%, black 67%, white 25%. How do you stop that? Right? How do you knock those numbers down? 'Cause I think that's a big problem.
That is, I mean, I too grew up without a dad in my house.
Oh shit,
But
man.
he lived really close to me. So it's not like I never saw him.
Go ahead. There's a separate.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, there's also those statistics too. Like your parents are separated, and you kind of get
So I also have a friend who young Jewish fellow who grew up without a dad. And he turned out completely fine. I feel like it's got a lot to do with the environment that you're in.
Sure.
And it's if you grow up in a poor environment, like there's a good chance your life is gonna be terrible.
So some of these statistics, like people try to tout, like, oh, well, there are more black people in jail, therefore they're creating crime, and they try to pin it to the skin color, which, if you think about what that actually means, think about what they're actually saying, is that the amount of melanin in your skin directly correlates to how likely you are to commit a crime. No other fact. And then some of these people
Yeah, but I don't think they're saying only that.
I'm getting to that. What else they're saying is they try to make a scientific case for why they think that black people know and they resort to criminality.
There's much more sophisticated reasons. And remember what I said about how concentrated poverty is predominantly black people, like overwhelmingly? Have you ever heard of lead poisoning? You have?
Yeah. Lead poisoning causes cognitive disorders and cognitive disabilities. If you get lead, if you get lead in the water, like right now in Flint, Michigan, there has been lead poisoning in the water supply, which if kids drink, it causes severe cognitive impairment that is irreversible.
Yeah, and aggression problems. Like it turns you into a criminal. Lead poisoning.
Yeah.
So you've got cities that are crammed with poor black people, poor black kids growing up in an environment over the last 30 years where we're pumping lead into the air out of our cars, right? Before unleaded gasoline.
Sure.
This is a real thing.
Yeah.
So saying that it's just your skin color is a little, cherry picking, because this is real. This is real that all these black people are crammed together in these cities, and we're pumping brain-killing poison into them.
Well, yeah. The point was though, phrenology is phrenology, I think it's how it's pronounced, is a discredited pseudoscientific theory that someone came up with in the 1800s, where they studied the skulls of black people versus white people, and they said, there's some differences, which is just insane because, first of all, the differences are not consistent, they're not measured, they cherry pick different types of skulls, and they found no difference in the skull shape and how likely you are to commit a crime. It's a long discredited theory, but these are the theories, rather like what you said right now.
I've never heard of phrenology.
Yeah, that's because it's a discredited
No,
pseudoscience.
I mean, I know what phrenology is, but I haven't heard of it since the 1800s.
Gosh, look at my Twitter feed. I'm talking to all these racist dipshits all the time. All they're saying is phrenology this and phrenology. I'm like, dude, and I look at their profiles, and they have ties to white supremacist groups.
I don't. I'm talking about NPR. That's the first one.
Well, NPR. So what's interesting is who's the guy who had that racist outburst? He used to own the Clippers. Sterling. Donald Sterling. Donald Sterling was when everybody had a big shit fit because. Yes.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't want his girlfriend to be seen with black people. Yeah, that's yellow card. Yellow card.
No, you don't get to give those
Well,
out.
Denzel Hopkins did.
Your girlfriend's seeing like younger guys. You're even saying
They said blacks.
I feel like if you're Donald Sterling, you should have that expectation already for your relationship. You're not paying for exclusivity, you're paying for discretion at a certain point. So she should be able to see whoever she wants. Saying that you don't want Magic Johnson at your games is Magic Johnson. I'm sure he's a nice guy. He smiles a lot. He's fun, and you're discriminating against a man with AIDS,
Yeah.
HIV.
That's doubly
Yeah,
racist. You're racist and you discriminate against people.
AIDS.
Yeah, racist against AIDS. But here's the thing, guys. What's being lost in the woods here, or lost in the weeds, is Donald Sterling. What he said is chicken shit. It's the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, yeah.
Donald Sterling's real crime is that he's a slumlord. Donald Sterling's real crime is that he helped create these conditions for these poor inner city black kids because he specifically discriminated against black people in his housing projects.
Well, and other minorities too. And
Yeah.
he knew that they would not have the resources to fight him on it.
Absolutely.
If they're Hispanic,
Right.
they may be illegal.
Right.
If they're black, they're probably not going to have the funds to hire a lawyer and fight him on this kind of stuff. So he was just, maximized his profit by doing super unscrupulous things.
And especially if you're black and you might have any kind of warrants out for you for any reason, not showing up for jury duty or having a parking fine you haven't paid. If you have that, right, because you happen to be poor and you can't afford to pay these outrageous parking fees, then you're not going to be going to the police for their help in housing discrimination issues. You're not going to go to any of them. You're going to take care of it yourself. Probably you send a child at some point, but if you have a father at some point, you have to take care of it yourself as opposed to just always going to some authority who may or may not do anything, may possibly not do back in the 90s,
basically bankrupt anybody who's suing.
Affluenza voted up people.
Yeah, I mean, look,
No, except the government.
yeah, with the
You gotta
exception of the
run
government, but then you have to rely on the government to be competent enough to do their jobs, and that's tough.
Fascinating problem. I also have a little bit of statistics to add to this. Did you know that it costs more to adopt a white baby than it does a black baby?
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah. People looked into it, and people are trying to find any kind of non-racial explanation for this.
No.
And
Well, who's adopting the babies?
But there are a lot of instances of black people adopting white babies.
Shit.
And that is such a fascinating phenomenon to me. I would love to interview. I'm actually doing research right now to get in contact with some of these kids who were raised by black parents, but they're white. And the looks they get when they're out in public, there was one anecdote I read where someone even said that they were approached by another couple in public and asked if they needed help, if they were being kidnapped, if everything was okay.
I read that.
Yeah. The guy's like, yeah, they're my parents. Everything's fine. They're my parents. Like, well, how about mind your own fucking business? Everything's okay.
That's
Right where it's a state.
I mean,
Yeah, you want to ask.
hey, you're not a cop.
Work hard.
That's not racist.
That's racist.
That's not racist.
I
You
guess
want to ask?
the whole thing, at least for me, is like when I'm in public, I want to be left alone. Like,
Right.
for the most part. And I understand there's a social contract that you sign invisibly when you leave the house. Like,
Yeah.
somebody can talk to you, people can do whatever they want. But ultimately, I don't want to be followed to my car anymore. I don't want to be followed to my apartment anymore. I don't want to be followed around stores anymore. I don't want to have things thrown at me while you shout the N-word.
When is that happen? How often does that happen?
So it doesn't happen to me much anymore, or it hasn't happened in a while. I had an old lady spit at me in public recently.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It was.
Was it my neighbor?
Last summer? No. It was a lady walking through my old neighborhood. I went to go visit a friend, and she did one of.
We've all seen Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. How are you not petrifying everyone all the time?
Because you can't react to that. Because like the first time you react to something like that, it's like, oh, he's the angry black guy.
Now we've all heard so much about
Yeah.
When Branch Rickey used to own the Dodgers, and in the modern era, Jackie Robinson was the color bearer in 1947. And Branch Rickey said he had been wanting to bring a black player into the Vegas for a long time, and there were some great players, and Jackie Robinson was a great player, first ballot Hall of Famer. But he had to find a person he knew could take it and be better than any of his white teammates for exactly what you said. So it's like, oh, there's the angry black guy. See, I was right the whole time. So he has a standard that's spit on, get called the N-word, have things thrown out, get death threats, all that kind of stuff, and he had to be better than that.
I have a quick question before we wrap this up. This has been a fascinating conversation for me today. Do you think that that we live in a little bit more of a post-racial society with the black president?
Because of the black president, no.
Okay. Do you feel that anything has improved?
Oh yeah, things are constantly improving.
Okay.
I mean, by virtue of me being able to sit in the room with two, you're Armenian,
I'm Armenian.
Armenian, half Mexican, two white guys, white woman. Like I just by virtue of being able to be in the same room and we're not like constantly shouting racial slurs back and forth. Yeah, we make a lot of
It's a new policy.
Yeah.
This has been
Randy, Asian man.
Same devil.
He just called Randy a white guy.
Sorry. Yeah.
We got a full studio. Yeah, we got a full studio.
I mean, things are constantly getting better, but it's.
What's the solution? What's the quick fix? I don't want the quick
Yeah.
fix.
Quick fix.
There's gotta be a quick fix.
No.
There's a quick fix to every
Oh!
problem.
Dick, I
Shit.
got it.
Kill the white
I got the solution.
Fucking Jesus.
Huh? How about that?
Nah, that's never gonna happen.
No, it's tough because everybody's gonna have some sort of prejudice down the line. Like if you have one bad interaction with a black person, that could color your outlook on all black people the rest of your life.
Sure.
All it takes
That's
is like
confirmation bias, though. That is literally confirmation bias.
yeah.
You had that one experience with. And I see it go both ways too. I read this account, this anecdote of a friend of mine who posted on Facebook that he was in San Francisco and he was walking down the street. It was actually a friend of a friend. He was walking down the street and he saw these teenagers walking towards him, and some of them were black, some of them were Hispanic, and he thought, you know what, I'm not going to cross the street. I'm not going to walk on the other side of the street in spite of how menacing they were. And these kids jumped him and stole his cell phone.
Jesus.
And this guy's worldview was profoundly changed after that incident because he had to have facial reconstructive surgery. He got beat so badly. He had scars. He had stitches. He was really messed up, and it was a really sad thing for me to read and witness because this was a guy who said, I am definitely profiling from now on. He says, I don't care about. He said I was very liberal and progressive. I thought that profiling is not fair and it's not right, and he changed his mind after that day. And I don't know how I feel about it
Well,
because
isn't he an idiot for like trying to convince himself that his gut is wrong? Like, just because you feel menaced in a situation doesn't mean it's because you're a racist. Like, there's a big difference between, I get a bad feeling about this, I'm gonna cross the street and get away from these gentlemen, versus I'm gonna follow this guy around the Apple store because he's black.
yeah, that's a good
It's
point.
a big difference. I feel like you're shaking your head.
So one, you said they were teenagers, right?
Yeah.
Never trust teenagers.
Never
No.
trust teenagers.
They're full of hormones. They can break at any moment.
They're
and
idiots.
You just walk across the street if you see a pack of teenagers. You don't want those problems.
Yeah, their brains aren't fully cooked yet.
Exactly.
Don't mess with them. Don't date them. to listen to them.
Yeah. So, also, to a certain degree, you're responsible for your own safety.
To a degree.
If you're walking down the street and your gut, like Dick was saying, is saying like, hey, maybe you should get out of here. You should do that.
Yeah.
And what same reason why women will switch the arms that their purse is on when they see me walking by? Like, I can't be mad at that. They're looking out for themselves.
That happens to you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That wouldn't happen to me.
No, I get a smile, big old smile from every chick. I'm
That's
serious.
you do, yeah.
Yeah. I give a little dance too.
Denzel, do you ever walk by
John
somebody's?
Travolta.
Do you ever walk by somebody's car and have them lock the doors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
Have you ever had them hit a button and like Batman armor goes around their car?
That'd be nice. I want that.
It's Black Man armor.
See, he deals with those little things that I don't think about.
Yeah, me too. That's what I wanted him to talk about this problem because I got all these dumb stats, but they don't matter.
There's a lot in my day to day that I have to put up with, but it's just like, I mean, ultimately there's nothing I can do about it, right? Like I could go talk to the person and we could try to work out like why they're feeling this way and like, you know,
You tried to what?
have a kumbaya moment and say we should come together and not be mad, but ultimately like that's not my job.
So, Denzel, thank you. That was a fascinating problem. Thank you for bringing that in. And for Black History Month, guys.
Yeah. And I just want to note to anybody listening, this is not me saying like, yo, like, feel bad for black people. It's terrible out there. It's more so me saying like, this is what I'm making you aware.
Here's what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Some of us. Here's what some of us are dealing with on a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
Just be understanding, and I think that goes a long way, Denzel, towards maybe helping solve this problem because things are improving. Things are getting better.
Yeah.
Hey, I know how to solve another problem. Black, white, Asian, whatever purple you are, you need a good shape. That's
Amen
why
to that.
today's episode is brought to you by Harry's. Save $5 off your first purchase with the promo code BIGGESTPROBLEM at harrys.com. Look, they're finely engineered German blades. It's a 5-blade cartridge, a close, comfortable shave with no cuts or burns. Quality guaranteed. Full refund if you're not happy. And they won't follow you around the store. If you go to CVS to buy your razors, then they'll follow you around the store, right? For a black listener. He shows up out of the store. Yeah. Nobody's going to follow you to your own door. No, has that ever happened to you?
No.
Gremlin pops out of the toilet and follows you to your front door?
No hassle, no microaggressions, and no micro cuts or abrasions.
Yeah. Factory direct prices, cut out the middleman, ships right to your door. So their blades are sold at half the price of the leading brand. Fuck the leading brand.
Yeah.
It's Harry's.com.
Unless Harry's becomes the leading brand, in which case Harry's.com.
Fuck the second guy then.
Yeah. Guys, I got a real problem. Thanks, Denzel, but I got the real biggest problem in the universe. Wallets.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, wallets.
I agree with you right away.
Oh yeah? Okay, good. Wallets are bullshit, guys. Did you guys know that the word wallet comes from the 14th century Latin word for slow-thinking, underachieving dullard who's a slave to convention? Yeah, that's true.
What do you mean? How true? What do you mean by true?
What, like 100% true. Okay. Just look it up in the dictionary. It's a slow thinker.
I'll just believe you.
A slow-headed moron. Yeah, thank you.
Slow-headed.
Yeah. It's slopey foreheaded morons.
Whoa.
Yeah. Wait, that's not racist?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, like, I think that's like an old racial slur
It's
for
a fucking old racial slur. You are so
Asian
fun. No,
people.
is it?
Well,
Okay, let's take a verdict. Everyone, by show of hands, who thinks that has any racial connotation?
Yeah?
Yeah, fuck you
Of
guys.
course it does.
That's bullshit.
Of course it does.
Because it refers to like cavemen. Slope-headed foreheads.
Oh, so
Cavemen.
you're saying that saying originated with cavemen?
Yeah.
Like a bunch of Neanderthals and Cro-Magnons were sitting around and they said, these slope-headed
No.
Neanderthals, they're always fucking things up.
We say that about people like you're like cave-like. You're like a Neanderthal,
We're
right?
always giving people more credit than they deserve.
Slope refers to Asians.
Not slope-headed.
No, yeah.
Not
Sean.
slope-headed.
No, not slope-headed, but still.
What is slope-headed?
Let's
What
hear
race
the
is
wallet.
slope-headed?
Let's hear the wallet problem.
Does anyone have that? No one has that. You guys are all chicken shit.
I haven't heard slope-headed.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, if you just.
That's because you don't talk to your racist Twitter followers all the time.
Yeah.
This guy.
Anyway, guys, a wallet is basically a purse for men. You may think it's manlier because it's in your back pocket, but that's not manly. It's a purse. It's a purse. It's a purse. You're carrying around a purse. Everyone's carrying around a purse. Everyone has too many cards.
What makes it a purse?
That it carries your shit with you, and you're putting it in your back pocket. Women can have small purses. I've seen them snatch out
Actually,
purses.
a purse so small you can barely even see it.
So it's the government of purses. So anyway, yeah, it's just a purse, and everyone has too many cards. Everyone, I want you to take out your wallets right now. All the Sean, Denzel, everyone, Dick,
Randy.
Candy, Randy, Bobandy, take out your purse.
Where's my wallet? Denzel.
Red card. Get five
Red
fucking
card.
shot of
Red card.
over there. Yeah, get more red cards.
Red
Get
card.
all the red cards. Plaster Sean's apartment with red wallpaper. Holy shit, Sean.
Let me just break in. Slowhead is a racial slur for Chinese.
Not a single one of you motherfuckers were thinking that, were you? Sean, that's the first thing he said. Well, that's not what I meant. Clearly, a slowhead is a Chinese since when?
Since the 1800s, probably.
Randy, is that Urban Dictionary? Fuck you, Randy. I trust the racial slur you use in Urban Dictionary.
It says Chinaman. But I said Chinese to make it legitimate.
Oh, it's a Chinaman?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes it less respect. Because two racist words cancel each other out.
Well, next week we'll be bringing in being Chinese.
I know a couple Chinese. So anyway, lots of purses for men. The purses for women, they're stupid. Everyone has too many cards in their wallet. Why the fuck are we carrying around so many cards? How many cards do you have in your wallet, Dick? John, I want you guys to count right now. How many cards you have and how many of them do you actually use? I'm gonna guess each of you have like 8 or 9 cards.
I have 4. Did you count every card, like insurance cards too?
Business cards count too. Insurance counts too.
We know business cards.
I think you do. I think you have the most cards, unless Randy's pulling his wallet out. Denzel has 5 cards.
What do you got, Sean?
I'm just kidding. I have a fuckload. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. You know what? Would you ask me, Sean? Just hold your wallet up. Let's take a look at your wallet.
Look at that shit, man. You have like
At least 20 or 30 cards in there.
I've got 2 credit cards, driver's license, my green card for GNC. How do you know all of them off the top of your head? Because I use them all the time.
No, all the cards on.
Bronze card. No, because you don't do that.
You don't need
Get
bronze
those
cards.
deals, son.
No, that's true. You can type in your phone number.
Type in your phone number.
Right.
Guys, and how
Oh,
many
yes.
What's the total count?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got some checks in there also.
Gosh.
This is an overseas check I've been carrying around for like 3 years because I can't find a bank that will cash.
I have those too from Amazon.
I have a £5 note.
Great, very
It's
useful,
the
Sean.
only thing in my wallet. Because I don't carry my money in my wallet.
Yeah.
I carry it in my front pocket.
Yeah, me too.
So driver's license. Then I got a fuckload.
How do you have a second wallet? You have a second wallet in your wallet, dude. What the fuck is this? In case I need to like get into action real fast, I can bust this
Second wallet out of my wallet, like Optimus Prime, and then I can go incognito. This is like my wallet behind. Like if I should leave my wallet with someone, you take this wallet and hold the group, and I'm going to take the stuff I need and go into action.
Well, speaking of taking stuff, you need just not this wallet section you have going on here. But what you do, I started to look at my wallet critically a long time ago. Probably about 6-7 years ago, when I pulled out my wallet and I was cleaning it out, and I was taking all these cards out. There were old business cards of people I'd met at parties. There were old grocery store coupon cards and Blockbuster cards and my university ID cards. Holy shit! I thought, oh my god, the only thing I ever use in my wallet is my driver's license and my 1 or 2 credit cards. What if I just started carrying around my 1 or 2 credit cards and my driver's license? And that's my wallet today. Here's my wallet. I'm pulling it out. Right here. It's like 3 cards. Wait, you don't have a wallet. You just have because it's not a hassle and I don't lose it and it's not uncomfortable to sit on. It don't look like a giant bulgy pile of shit in your pants. It will make it look frumpy as fuck. You all look like morons with these giant wallets walking around. You have these big old bundle of bullshit. giant ass wallets everyone's sitting on, you got so much meat in those wallets. You're sitting down on them, it's uncomfortable, you got this big balls in your pants. You shift to the other side, and your butt can't get comfortable, and it's leaving a big dent, and it's wearing down your jeans, you've got a hole in your pants. Guys, rethink the wallet. Be smart. I'm the genius. What I did is I just took my driver's license and 2 credit cards, because Sean, I read after the first 4 or 5 cards that you named, you can't list your name to it. You got so much shit in there.
I'm too busy calling for like music.
So scan it, take a picture of it, throw it away. You're done. Yeah, I'm totally on board. So here's what wait, you're on board with the having like a fish full of cards in your pocket? You make cards. You can have like a big little foot. Yeah, you can be a foot. No, I don't need it. Give me cards. You want any money? I do. In your pocket. So here's the thing. Here's how really my plan is. We got the wallet. Wallet will take cash and credit and credit. All you have. I thought about it. I thought, well, if I'm going to use my wallet for cash, then I'm not going to be using it. And vice versa. If I need a card, I'm not going to be using cash. So I put my cards in my back pocket and cash in the front pocket. I never have to reach into the same pocket twice for 2 different things. What are you worried about? No, I never do this. Sitting down and falling down. Never leave your real estate pocket. Never happens. I put my car keys in my back left, my house keys in my front right, and I segregate those 2. Here's the other benefit to segregating my wallet. I'm sorry, I'm talking about segregation. Can't help himself. It's the second red card of the book. So here's why. Also, if you lose your wallet, you lose everything. But if I lose one card, or if I lose a little bit of cash, like I'm not going to lose my entire wallet, I'm not going to lose my ID, I'm not going to lose my credit cards, I'm not going to have to cancel everything. Now, there is one potential problem. If you travel to a high-time week, like I said, let's go to Mexico. And in Mexico, if I'm going to go to an area where I might get mugged, or I might have to drive a car, I can't. And I totally have to take a wallet. Fuck. You wanna go in, dummy? Come on. Get out of here.
say sorry. I got mugged twice.
Denzel,
If you understand.
if I get mugged, Denzel, if I get mugged a
You're talking
third,
to a homeless guy.
yeah, if I get
I'm
mugged,
sorry, I'm all out of change. Give it to the other two.
if I get mugged a third time, I will reach into my actual pocket and then pull out my cash, which is usually on the order of like $40, and then I'm out $40. And Denzel, let me predict your next rebuttal, which is what if you get mugged a fourth time? But Denzel, we're not living in Nickelodeon, okay? This is not like some Looney Tunes universe where you just keep getting mugged. If I get mugged once, I'm gonna go to the cops and I'm gonna get my second wallet, my second fake wallet, and then carry on, and then I'm gonna have my second.
You're definitely a Looney Tunes. And you're talking about carrying around big wallets in case you get mugged.
It's smart. I think it's smart. I use it there. You know what I do? I think I was on a subway and I felt something in my back pocket, like a hand tried to reach in my back pocket, and I just kind of chuckled like, go ahead, idiot. What are you gonna take? What are you gonna take? My driver's license? What are you gonna do with that, dipshit? I have all my cash in my front pocket. And I turned around. I didn't even bother. I didn't even bother looking to see it. I didn't. No one's gonna steal anything. You might get more before I do.
Hey, I just realized something. So you gotta check the system. Because I bet you're not worried about getting mugged. So maybe vote down being black is a problem. I don't know. Here's the who will vote? What the hell is that? Somebody comes along and says, yeah, I wonder what time the gym closes.
You tell me Google asks to you.
I'm doing my own thing. I'm involved in my own world, but I'm in to escape from you. Don't bring your world into here. Boys and mine. Alright? I don't know who inspired this. Everybody! Time. I'm doing Google myself. It's like, it's someone, I don't know the word for it. It's someone making you do something and you get nothing out of it, and you have no choice. They don't Can you look this up for me real quick? I'm about to place an order. I'm working my fingers to the bone here for them, and I get nothing out of it.
Yeah. You're not working your
I'll be
fingers.
punished if I don't do it.
Well, what about voice searches? Are you okay with voice searches? What do you mean? Like if someone came over to you and said, on my phone, my voice detection works pretty well. It doesn't work when it comes to text messages, garbage. I hate touch screens, but when it comes to Google searches, I don't know what kind of magic you're doing, but it's way better than any other voice recognition software I've used. Not perfect, but way better. And I do do voice searches.
No, I don't do it.
Just type it. You fiddle around with all this bullshit.
But you're working your fingers, your poor fingers to the bone.
It's slavery. That was the joke. That was the joke. Happy Black History Month. Perfect.
Hey, we're already bringing in black-related problems. I have the segregating wallets. You have your finger slavery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sucks.
Yeah.
I get it.
How did that not get a card?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
who gets a
Finger
card,
slaves.
Denzel?
It's funny, you can
both
say
of you.
racist
We
stuff.
both
I'm
he's
gonna-
tearing the red card in half. We
Yeah.
both get. Sean
That's
gets
for you,
all
that's for you.
No, I've gotten
I'm giving it to Sean.
I'm just gonna start giving people bum information.
Why not?
We'll do it, Sean.
That's
Okay.
funny. Dick, I would expect you to do that first because. Why does it bother you so much?
Because I don't want to be the doing the Googling. Pain in the ass. I want to do what I was doing. You got a phone, you use your phone.
What if their phone's dead?
Well, you know what I think? So the only reason I was thinking if somebody could do this to you and not be a dickhead is that they suck at Google.
Oh yeah.
Right?
See, this never happens to me except like with my father. That can't Google. No, the world has passed him by. He doesn't understand.
No.
The phone, the computer. If he knows where something is, he can remember the path to get it, but he doesn't understand the whole concept. So asking him to Google something, he's just not.
And it doesn't help to send them the lovely who did it for you links. And they think you're an asshole.
That's fun. I send that a lot. I remember the first time I sent it was on a mailing list of friends, and it was kind of like an inside joke mailing list. A lot of friends would pass it back and forth all day long. Hey, check this out. Hey, did you hear this hot gossip over here? And someone asked a very Googleable question in the thread. They said, "What is this movie about?" And rather than Google it for him, I sent him the "Let me Google that for you" link. Got dropped from the mailing list.
If you send that link to my dad, he would think you're helping him.
Yeah.
He would think that's doing it for him. Oh, thanks.
You know what? Fuck it. Let them see that slow ass cursor go across the screen. I love seeing that. It's so condescending. I love that.
Yeah, but I do think it could try to help people like learn how to do the Google.
So you
Like,
let me
instead of
Google that
just
for you?
yeah, instead of just being like a fuck you,
Yeah.
it could also say like, hey, you could have just typed on this.
Especially people who don't understand exact quote searches, which is, guys, if you want the exact phrase, put it in quotes. Super simple. One thing Google is not really great at for searching is syntax. Google gets all confused and muddled when you type in a certain syntax because it kind of confuses it with flags that you can put into your Google searches. I'm getting into really advanced territory. You guys aren't at my level yet, I know. You know that, Denzel, right? Engineer. Right here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright, that's
So get Google delegators. Do you have any problems with any other types of gators?
no.
Alligators?
Alligators.
You can bring them. Yeah. Just a Google delegate.
They make nice shoes. Did I hear that?
Nice shoes, uh-huh.
Does that fit any?
Oh, they also make great sausage.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah, that's
true.
true.
I've had alligator sausage. Delicious. Poop it out.
All right. Let's wrap this up.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Denzel. Do you have any shitty comedy projects you want us to pitch on here, like all the other guests?
No.
What a hater.
You can follow me on Twitter and say mean things to me on the internet at @Denzel.
Yeah.
It's spelled normally.
At that Denzel, we will link to it on the website. We would like to actually have you back at some point if you do to hear some of the comments you may have received for this episode.
It sounds like
It'd
it'll
be
be
kinda
hard to say mean things to you. Like, it sounds like you just get mean things said to you frequently. I mean, that's I can relate to that because they do the same thing. Like, if someone calls me asshole every day, I hate them.
You could write a book.
Well, I deserve it. That's the difference.
Yeah, Denzel,
You're a bad guy.
you're a super nice guy. You're like one of the nicest guys I've ever met next to me. I'm the nicest. Anyway, guys, my problem this week is wallets.
My problem is being black.
My problem is Google delegators.
Thanks for listening.
See you next Tuesday.
I got a voicemail from Waterboy.
Waterboy, longtime contributor of the show.
Hello, my name is Waterboy, and I really enjoyed the internet addiction problem. The one thing that I wish that was delved into, though, was kind of the stigmas that kind of go around the, I'm just going to call them.
Pretty good point. Here's one from Tim Cook.
He plays second ball.
Oh, Maddox. It's your boy, Tim Cook,
Oh, from Apple.
president of Apple.
Yeah.
Tim Cook. Yo, what you think about me shutting down them Fed rallies? I ain't gonna be hustled by no players or no feds, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You all talking shit about my Apple product. Yo, what's up with that? What's up with that, Maddox?
Tim Cook is very
So
street.
I bet you met my cousin, Tim Chains. Maybe you heard about him? Anyway, just by chance, if you need a lift, I'm also a part-time Lyft driver. But seriously, hit me up, man. I need that cash. I really need that cash. Tim Cook.
Tim Cook, fuck you. I'm tired of Tim Cook and Tim Chang's. I don't want to hear anything from Tim Chang's or Tim Cook. Any more Tims on the show. I'm putting a blackout on Tim for the rest of 2016.
I got one more.
Hey, Dick, it's Devin from Wisconsin. Mr. Dick Masterson, the not white knight. Pretty good. In the episode 20 right now, Dick is brought in a problem advocating for women and not having transgendered in MMA. I just want these women to have their own thing. Is that so wrong? That's a vote for you, Mr. Dick Masterson. So white knight. How do you feel about that? Don't fuck yourself.
You're the most social of justice warriors.
Yeah.
You even have a podcast where you can espouse your social justice.
Social justice warrior problem.
Yeah,
One
your
of my
warrior.
main goals,
It's like the crusades on behalf of feminists. That's what you are over here at the White Knight. White Knight Denzel and White Knight Dick. The whitest guys I know.
Yes.
Today's show is brought to you by Casper. Get $50 toward any mattress purchase by visiting Casper.com/biggest and using promo code BIGGEST.
Welcome to the biggest problem in the universe, the show where we discuss every problem in the universe, from dirty boxers to the Oscars. With over 5 million downloads. This is the only show where we decide what should or shouldn't be on the big list of problems. I'm Maddox, with me is Dick. And Sean, our audio engineer, and joining us again is the Stuart. Welcome back, gentlemen. Welcome back. Episode 94.
Yeah, we basically covered everything that's wrong. And their offensive racism. How dare they not celebrate black people for making stupid movies? How dare they leave out minorities for making a bunch of pretend horseshit that no one should care about?
Dick, you were so close. You were so
Nice
close
little
to...
statue. Black people got this worthless statue with a gold butt plug. Fuck you.
You came asymptotically close to having any kind of empathy in that last episode of the problem of being black, and then just blew it all in the intro.
Man, fuck people in their awards. Fuck your awards.
I could go on a rant about the Oscars. The Oscars so white, all this horse shit. I'm sorry there weren't more African Americans in The Revenant. In the 1830s. In the 1830s. I'm sorry, this movie about this period piece where I'm sorry there weren't more black people in The Danish Girl. The Danish Girl. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. You know what? Look at the numbers. Look at the statistics. The number of black people who won Oscars is 17%, higher than the percentage of black people in our population. What are you complaining about? Oh yeah, we went 2 years in a row without black people winning Oscars. Holy shit! Let's go fucking it's a fucking Klan rally up in the Oscars. Yeah.
How many Armenians have won Oscars?
Zero.
Where's the rally? Where's the rally? Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an entire industry that's built on, and its only function is to get attention to itself, right? All movies are designed to capture your attention. The entire industry is built on getting your attention, and they're complaining about something. Why does anyone take it seriously? That's literally all they do.
Well, it's the industry giving itself awards.
Yeah.
Well, alright, fuck the Oscars, obviously, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, come on, don't you guys think that we deserve, like, more awesome black characters in movies? Like, more awesome black heroes? I think about, like, a little kid in the 80s, like, going to the movies. Like, I think about, like, a little black kid going to the movies in the 80s, and, like, all of the best heroes and all the coolest dudes are white. Which is why I was, like, super into the new Star Wars movie, because it, like, has a really cool, really funny black guy as the lead.
You thought he was funny?
Yeah, you didn't think he was funny?
I thought he was a dead fish.
Well,
Yeah,
you hated the
I hated
entire
every
movie.
part of it.
Exactly. Look, you could have been Chinese, you would have hated the guy.
He had
Yeah.
good chemistry with the lead.
I guess. I thought he was small for the screen. I don't think he was a hero.
Yeah,
I didn't buy him as being big enough, and I don't think he cared about it enough.
Look,
No.
let me say this on. Sorry, go ahead. I'll add it after.
Look, man. Ideally, yes, we would have representation.
I like the
Yes,
voice you're using.
We have,
right
yes,
now.
condescending. We have, yeah, I know.
It's like you're making the jerk off hand with your voice.
That's what I'm doing. I know that's what I'm doing. Right in everyone's ears right now. But listen, man.
Just
I
tell like this.
Let me finish this point. Let me finish this point.
Yes, calm
Ideally, we would have representation. Okay, we have every movie has one trans person and like 3 gay guys and like 13 black guys. Like ideally,
And the white guy's the bad guy.
Yeah.
And they're all Donald Trump. It's just a white man playing Donald Trump, and he's the bad guy in every movie.
Always.
With a British accent.
Yes, with a British
Yes.
accent.
And he'll have the British accent.
But here's the reality of the situation. These people some Joe Schmo just to like fill a quota, some imaginary
He's just never going to win any Oscars.
He's making tons of money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let me say this. We're talking about. I mean, what is better than that? That guy was a genius. He beat the hell out of all
Like, I don't think when you make a movie, you should pull out stuff. We have a this, we have a that, we have this. So it's like, I don't know. I just think that in general, Okay, what's that character's name? Really? You can't name a single white hero?
But
The
again,
guy from Guardians of the Galaxy.
he's not white.
The white
He's,
guy?
Appalachian American, please. All right. You got any comments? How'd we do? How'd we do?
Hey,
How'd we do?
Speaking of checklists,
Speaking of black people getting the shaft.
Yeah. Biggest problem in the universe from last week was being black.
All right.
Huh?
There we go.
Big problem, as we've proved it at the intro to this show, completely destroyed the goodwill we built.
Not a huge problem, though.
No.
It's
It
an
is,
out.
yeah, in the medium range of problems.
Yeah.
Followed by Google Delegators.
Yeah.
And then Wallets got trounced.
Yeah.
Nobody thought Wallets was a problem, apparently. In fact, you guys think it's a solution, so fuck you.
Yeah. Well, it's literally a solution.
To what? What
Having a
problem?
bunch of like loose money and stuff in your pocket when you're keep all
I went to Decoplex.
Okay.
I've seen you both dancing together.
Mexican and at least we need to dance.
You guys are I'm great. What do you think we do all day? Certainly great place. Anyway, long story short, I didn't bring a lot of you guys. I don't want to just switch up and my topic. Yeah, I want to do. I have a flight on Tuesday. And so now I feel like I'm down to D&D tomorrow. I'm doing a That's what I'm saying. It would have been nice to have a lot. I was there for it. This is what I'm saying. Like, I agree with all
Yeah, Sean, and it's cool as shit. I get laid like a motherfucker. Yeah.
And like a shovel on your head with getting laid up and all that. I got some comments. John Costanzo. Congrats, guys, on almost making it 100 episodes without
Yeah.
Does he? You sound like Kermit the Frog?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Bring that blanket over.
Does he sound like that?
That is the worst Kermit I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
he's a black Kermit.
DiCaprio is better than The Revenant. Maybe.
Yeah, I actually suffered. Leonardo DiCaprio ate crafty every day in between for his lunch breaks. I ate a fucking dead insect.
Yeah.
Maybe, potentially.
Better than the
allegedly.
Oscars. Allegedly.
Crafty.
Perhaps.
Crafty. So inside. Such an inside rep. It's a crafty. I got some voicemail.
Son of a bitch, you dumb shit. Listen, first of all, Denzel's like, well, what if you get mugged a third time or a fourth time? It's like, hey, Denzel, what if you get mugged once? Then you still don't have a wallet.
You should put a single dollar bill in the front,
Yeah.
and then the rest of it should be Maddox bucks.
Maddox bucks.
It has like pictures of other people's families in it.
Years old, dude. You know what was fucking sweet? When I went to the bar and I bought my $160 Giorgio Armani ball straight from Italy.
Whoa.
Fucking chick. I love that.
Some brand.
but having an average size dick.
Huh.
You know, so, you know, I like to fuck white women and everything, but
Like, that's what, if you expect that shit from seeing all the fucking porn and shit and seeing roots and shit, I guess. It's like being a fucking Asian kid. It's not smart. Man.
Yeah, there's a
So
very
like,
graphic
yo,
section.
can you help me with this calculus? And you're like,
Did it win an
I
Oscar?
better test me on.
Well, it won Emmys, multiple Emmys.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Yo, Main Dog.
Fucking
I heard what you said, man. You said I'm not a real DJ?
No.
Come on, fam. Why you gotta say that?
On your family, I don't know what
I
that is.
am a real DJ.
Wrong.
Have you heard this before?
It's all he's got.
Why you do this to me? I'm your friend. If you and I gonna have beef, then you better bring the
style, like, hey, Maddox, or he calls me Madoff because he does.
Code for millennials.
Because this is a problem.
Wait, what do you mean code?
Let's I'm sorry. Let's just hear what you got to say.
Do you have if it is millennials, do you have a problem with that?
Until you get married.
But yeah, but that's a
culture.
culture thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
culture.
it's also a
That's
huge
that's a
fucking
wrong
problem.
culture then. That's a big problem with that.
Yeah, like I dated a girl a long time ago who was Iranian, and she was like, and I was like, well, I don't want to get married. And she was like, well, you can wait for a little while. I was like, well, why don't you do that? She's like, I'm married. What are you gonna go back to her parents' house to fuck her? You can't. It's impossible.
No.
Dick, do the years on that graph coincide with
These nuts, that's
no?
what they coincide.
Do they coincide? Do
With
they
the
coincide
crash?
with the recession?
Jesus, man.
phenomenon that's occurring in America specifically, and the age range you said is 18 to 34. That is millennials. That is the millennial age. And that's one common criticism that millennials get. That's why I asked at the top of this problem, are you talking about millennials? So I have a better frame of reference.
Well, it's also, why do you think the culture matters?
Yeah,
Why do you
because
think...
I think that does.
Well, if it's a cultural shift, then I don't have time. Live at home and chew away at an indigestibly sized student loan, yeah. but it has like a profound effect on your independence and quality. How are you gonna bang the shit out of a chick at your parents' house? You can't. Did you see Ed School?
I just think that they're both bad. It's like, well, if you think about it, all right, in Europe, perhaps the reason you stay with your parents until whenever is economic. You know, like in Europe, the government takes a large chunk of your taxes like, you know, and the trade-off is you get a more robust social safety net. You know, I think in Sweden, you have a guaranteed income of $21,000 a year. As a result, the government takes 75% of the taxes.
With people living at home, it sucks. And I'm not judging you. I'm actually the extension of being a child. When I go home, I love my parents and they're awesome. Like being at home for me is like a vacation that no one else in LA has, which I think is why in LA
puberty, which is, I'll tell you something else. As a young adult, your brain is developing from, I think it's white matter to gray matter. Whatever the matter is going to be,
Caught like fucking a bunch of whores on TV.
Yeah, but wasn't our president caught getting a blowjob from an intern? I mean, we're
not on tape. Not like the equivalent of Hugh Hefner's mansion. Max, if you don't mind me saying, like,
yeah,
I feel like you know why living at home is a problem.
Sure.
I understand you wanting to tease this out for the listener, but like, just playing along for a second, like, you can have to live at home, but you can have to live independent.
Then what is your deal with this? Well, I'm curious. I'm just not really because I'm having these weird arguments. I just want to hear a satisfying argument. Can I agree with you? I'll tell a person, unless you are independent, unless you go into the world, seriously, you want to consider. Yeah, I feel both the most of the homemakers
why isn't that more of a phenomenon? And is this really just
why is what more of a phenomenon? Just use Italy as an example. Why
okay,
isn't what in Italy more of a phenomenon?
Well, you're saying if you have a stunted development psychologically by living at home, I just don't see that as being the case in Italy.
What the hell would you possibly measure that by?
Well,
like, what do you know about Italian culture? Or like, I know very little about being Italian.
I can tell you guys one thing about Italian culture that's pretty man-childy. You can call in sick because there's a soccer game on.
Yeah.
And there's like a huge outbreak of people not going to work in Italy because people are like, oh.
Today's show is brought to you by Casper. Get $50 toward it. Of course. Then what is your deal with this thing?
What's kind of weird that we kind of just take for granted?
That was hilarious.
What we kind of take for granted here in America is that we don't talk about income. You can't ask anyone how much they make. It's considered rude. But there's no reason. There's no law. There's no rationale for that. It's just an American thing that's been part of our culture. We just take it for granted. No, it's not more personal than, say, whether or not you got laid and you talk about that all the fucking time. It's not more personal than what you ate for lunch. Everything we do is personal to some extent. It's just this is one taboo that we have in our culture that we take for granted. So similarly, in Italy,
getting laid is also very personal.
but people talk about that all the time. People don't talk about how much money
they make is much more personal.
That's your opinion. Well, that's
everybody in America.
Absolutely not.
According to what you're saying, because we don't talk about it.
But the point is that culturally arbitrary. There's no reason why. In China, that's not a taboo. It's something that everyone just talks about. They don't consider it personal. It's just a fact of life. It's like, yeah, how much money you make? Where do you live? Anything could be a taboo, but in Italy, to answer your question here, I don't get that perception. Okay, back to your problem. So do you think this is a problem with millennials? Because I keep seeing this problem pop up in articles about millennials and how they're living at home and not moving out. Do you think that's a unique problem?
It's a huge problem for them. It's a bigger problem for them than it is for me.
Why do you think that?
A lot of things. I think that despite what the job numbers say, that they're now making more money after the recession, that they're recovering, I don't think they really are. I think millennials are getting hit with a bunch of shitty jobs, like sub 30-hour jobs that don't make a lot.
Yeah.
I think they're drowning in student loans. I think that baby boomers are not retiring, forcing them to work these shit jobs with no stability. It's a big problem because it's not as easy for them to not live at home. And the worst part is it makes sense. It makes sense for them financially, which fucking sucks. That's not a position I want to see millennials in, but they're kind of stuck with it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you watch TV, you read books, like, you read comics, whatever. It's like, literally every aspect of American culture tells us, like, you grow up, you go to college, and then you get your first place, you know? Like, how many TV shows are there? Like, Felicity, whatever. Like, there's a million TV shows about, like, a bunch of young people in their early 20s living in an apartment with a fridge. One of the most popular shows of all time about a bunch of people in their early 20s living in New York, trying to make it on their own. And then, like, when the reality hits that there's no money out there, that, like, you have to take this shit job because they just find another even more desperately at it. And if you don't, like, you know, they don't have to give you benefits anymore. They've really got you over a fucking barrel. And, like, what, you know,
Or kids give you benefits.
But yeah, exactly. Like, I graduated in 2004 with about $35,000 worth of student debt. I went to, like, a very expensive college. I met
That's
people.
low.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's really low.
10 years later, I'm meeting people with $200,000 worth of student debt. And it's not like they went to medical school. They fucking film majors with like, you know, 20 cars worth of student debt.
That's their fucking problem, too.
Look, I'm not, but it's like, are you, what, an 18-year-old now who's just little stupid? Of course they are. They're 18 years old. College shouldn't be this expensive to begin with.
They're also being follow your dreams, pump up their ass.
Exactly. By the culture, and media, and everything else. Exactly. It's terrible.
Somebody told me this one time, and I think it's so accurate. They said there's nothing wrong with learning a trade.
Yeah.
Like air conditioning or something. You're always going to work. It ain't glamorous, but you can make money and work steadily.
Well,
as opposed to going to college, drowning in student debt, and coming out with kind of a useless degree in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
My dad instilled those values in me, Sean, a long time ago when I was growing up. My dad told me that when I'm old enough to get a job, that I should get a job and do whatever it takes. If my boss asks me what I can do, he says whatever it takes to get the job done. And that's the value that I've had all my entire life. And at my old job at the telemarketing company, the executives would consistently go to me. They would skip everyone in every department. They'd go to me to ask me to get something done because they know that regardless of what the task is, even if it's outside of my domain and outside of my department, I'll get the job done because I'm not a passive about kind of guy. You get the work done.
Yeah, that's such an important thing to instill in a kid.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're the work. Like, I wish more people had this value, this virtue of just getting shit done. Adam Carolla has talked this on his podcast all the time too. He says you should learn a trade, learn how to do something. It's not attractive to be ignorant. It's not attractive to be helpless. You need to learn how to do something. Get in there, and even if it's something you don't think you'll ever use, guess what? If you learn it, you'll enrich yourself, and somewhere down the line in your life, it may come in handy in a place and a time where you least expect it.
If he lost everything and he lost any entertainment endeavors that he's in, he could go back to carpentry.
Absolutely.
Adam Carolla?
Oh, yeah.
He's a very skilled carpenter.
Yeah, no, he does it totally everything.
Yeah, and he's always trying to work it into his movies and shit too. He had like an ad lib scene where he lists a bunch of like quotes and like, alright, Adam, you get it. Fuck you. You know? It's like somebody always trying to cram their telemarketing job experience into a podcast. Alright, that's pretty much my problem. I mean, I've got declining marriage rates, and in 1986, half of parents reported that they spoke to their children once a week. Today, 63, blah, blah, blah. But today, they say they contacted a child almost every day.
Right.
I don't know what the problem problem is, I know living at home with your parents is wrong and weird. But I don't know what caused it. I don't know what caused it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think if people are down on their luck, sometimes it's a good alternative to being homeless. I'll give you that.
It's the best alternative to being homeless. I mean, look, it makes sense to stay at home because people aren't getting paid as much. It makes sense to stay at home, save up a big chunk of money, and then leave when you're in your mid-20s. Like, there are listeners right now who are living at their parents' house and they're in their early 20s. And if you gave them $1 million, they wouldn't probably move out. It sucks, but it's like, it sucks that we kind of got fucked. I mean, people always say we're the first generation that's gonna be worse off than our parents. I mean, don't you guys like feel that in your fucking souls?
No, I mean, not me, but yeah, everybody else is fucked.
I feel like regardless, I don't have the wealth and equity that my parents built for themselves and their generation. However, I feel like I do have more opportunities because by virtue of the fact that we have entire industries that didn't exist when they were alive, I do feel like I am more fortunate to be alive now than the baby boomer generation. I wouldn't trade what I have now for what they had back then. I like my life now, and I like my technology now. I like being able to get porn on demand. I like
you
being
like
able
that you can wear a shirt that says butt fuck on it outside, and everyone has to take it.
Dick's
you couldn't
talking.
do that in the 50s,
Yeah.
which you're doing currently.
Asterius and I have a mutual friend. Dan, can we mention his?
Oh,
his
yeah,
name?
yeah. Actionfiguretherapy.com.
Yeah.
I do some of the voices for some of those cartoons. Our buddy for a long time, Dan, has been making these cartoons called Action Figure Therapy, where like G.I. Joes go to therapy.
Yeah.
And it is the most popular thing with the military in the world.
They love it.
Like, he ships his t-shirts and cartoons to bases all around the world because, like, he really knows a lot about the military, and these cartoons are, like, really accurate to, like, how funny some of these guys are.
Hey, but real quick, back to millennials.
Oh, sure.
You know, they're getting a bum deal in the job sector. They need to save money.
They sure do.
Well, I was going to go, speaking of ads.
Oh.
Today's show is brought to you by Casper. Get $50 toward any mattress purchase by visiting Casper.com/biggest and using promo code biggest. Casper mattresses. Wow, what a great night's sleep. Right?
You know, I'll tell you guys honestly, like, look, I may have brought a girl or two back to my new super tiny closet-sized apartment, and one of them was like, why is this mattress so comfortable? Is this a Casper mattress?
Did she
I'm
really?
I'm absolutely not
Did she
kidding.
really?
I'm absolutely not kidding. She said this, and then I was like, I have never looked. And so I took the top sheet off, and it was absolutely a twin-size Casper mattress.
Oh, that's interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
A twin XL will cost you $600, by the way. $500 for a twin. The Casper mattress, $750 for a full size, $950 for a king size. It's an obsessively engineered mattress at a shocking fair price. Just the right sink, just the right balance. I've got all the wrong sinks in my bed.
Really?
You need Casper, buddy. You get $50 off with our coupon.
No, I got so much money sunk into that mattress.
Do you have like one of those crazy organic?
I don't know, man. You go to the mattress store, and I get that choice like panic. You got too many choices, and no amount of laying for 10 minutes is gonna mean shit 2 weeks later.
You know what, Dick? On that point, Casper is actually going around tour around the country. They have this Casper truck. It's basically like a truck with a bunch of beds in it. You can take a nap, check out the mattress. It's really cool. I think they discourage people from full-on intercourse during the nap.
I will tell you right now, if there was a mattress store that let you have full-on intercourse on their mattress to test them out, they would do really well.
Disagree. I would not test out those mattresses ever.
I just go to, like, a window shop.
Yeah. Like what?
Window shop.
So you're watching people have sex on the mattress? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
on board. All right. I'm with you, Dick.
Risk-free trial and return policy. Try to Casper for 100 days with free delivery and painless return.
Casper, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting the show. Asterios, what's your problem?
All right, my problem this week is slouching.
Slouching.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
Yeah, slouching. And
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you going to say it's not a big problem? I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, is this a millennial problem?
even if it was, yeah, there's plenty of millennials who slouch. Everybody slouches. Speaking of millennials, I brought her my friend, she's a model. Her name is Chloe, and she's going to demonstrate both good and bad posture for us right now.
Okay.
I mean, now, again, she's a professional model. She knows a bit or two about posture.
Is she going to describe it? Or
I'm going to ask her some questions. She's going to sample some postures. Why don't you hop up on the mic? Get real close to me. Give
pictures
us
on
a
the
real.
website?
It's a thrill here.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
All right. Now, how long have you been modeling?
I've been modeling for 17 years.
Oh my God! So what? Since you were a baby?
Yeah, 2006.
Holy moly! Okay, well, fantastic. Now, from a modeling perspective, what's more attractive? A girl arching her back, or a girl who's all hunched over? What?
You're actually supposed to, when you model, you're supposed to arch your back.
Why?
And it can actually be really painful because for long periods of time you have to arch your back because it looks really nice. It looks like you have a complete straight line through your head all the way down to your ankles.
So it looks really nice not to slouch.
Yes.
Would you say it's more attractive not to slouch?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you would. One of the biggest dangers of bad posture is that it makes boobs look smaller and worse. Now,
And when you're a model, you have small boobs already, so you need to push them out.
How much of your job is trying to make your boobs look gigantic? 90% of it.
90% of the time.
Exactly. Science tells us that when ladies slouch, their boobs look way smaller and their butts stick out. And who's gonna want to get with a slouchy bra?
Everyone, yeah. I mean, you'll take what you can get sometimes.
All right, but let's say you walk into a bar and there's a lady who's arching her back all nice, and there's a lady who's all slouching. Who are you more attracted to?
Whoever wants me.
Yeah, pretty well. I would think this is serious. You don't know shit about that shit about it.
Maybe you're at your dance club trying to like pick which woman you'd have sex with. Let me help you out there. It's all of them.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I'm surprised you guys are so pro slouching.
No, I'm just busting your balls. I had a teacher in high school who showed us a movie, and thank you, Chloe, for your
Chloe, thanks so much.
Yeah. I had a teacher in high school who talked about, he showed us a movie called, I think it was Bye Bye Birdie, like an old musical. Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah, well, so anyway, he showed us this movie, and he was trying to point out how girls flirt with guys, I think, in this movie. And he said, and there was a scene in there where the girl kind of like arched her back and put her
You don't have
chest
to
out.
do it. You can just describe it. I
Wait,
don't
this
like
is for the
this
benefit
shit.
of the studio audience.
Does it
here.
look like this?
No,
Yeah.
please.
So for the
God,
listeners,
no.
I'm arching my back right now, putting my chest out, my beautiful man boobs.
I'm
With a
putting my-
t-shirt that says butt fuck on it.
It's disgusting.
It means she's open for business.
We got two large cavemen in here doing weird Anne Margaret poses.
Yeah, baby. So anyway, he told us in the class that was kind of how we flirted, and since he told me that way back in the day, I kind of paid attention to that, especially if I was talking to a girl who I thought might be interested in me. So I would notice sometimes, she might kind of like, put him front and center.
Exactly. And isn't that hot as shit when Anne Margaret's putting him front and center?
Beautiful.
Of course it is.
It's a lovely thing.
Now, I want you guys to think about, too. Let's look at the other side of it. I'm someone who slouched forever. You guys have probably seen me slouching, right?
Yeah, I've seen it done.
Yeah. How does it look to you guys?
Like a
I'm slouching?
tombstone.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible, right? It's like a super unattractive thing for dude. Yeah,
It looks like Job in the Hut, like a potato sack.
keep going.
Like a Mr. Potato Head that melted in the sun.
Yeah, like a mound of clay that you didn't mean to pull out of your backyard.
Yeah, but you did accidentally. It looks horrifying.
Yeah. It looks like what I imagine it would be a cartoon character for depression.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you were giving an autistic person a depression test, you point at the one that looks like me when I'm slouching.
Like Jabba the Hutt on like in an elevator.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Jabba the Hutt just lost his job as a tattooing gangster, so he's all depressed about it.
Yeah.
Interestingly, slouching, one of the many dangers of slouching is that you can get fired. According to Janice Novak, the author of Posture, get it straight. Employees who enter a room slouching or hunched over are seen as less vital. So when it comes time to swing the axe, who are you going to keep? The Elvis hunchback or some dude who's sticking his chest out like this? Like a goddamn problem solver.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, who's actually probably better at his job? The hunchback. He's got nothing else.
Right.
His mind is a living computer. He lives or dies based on his job. But you're going to fire him, right? You don't want Sloucho around.
No. Get rid of Sloucho Marx over there.
Yeah, exactly. Another health danger of slouching, hip problems. When you sit in a crunched position, your viscera are folded up, says Stephen Wilder, author of Stand Taller, Live Longer, and founder of BodyZone.com. It can slow down everything, so when you're slouching, you can become super duper constipated. A lot of times when you're on the toilet, you look at the phone, you're all slouched over, you're on the toilet for a lot longer. Why? Slouching. You're stopping yourself up.
Yeah, I stand up.
As you should.
I never know what to make of those you're pooping the wrong way. Yeah, well, because there's like those stepping stools.
The squatty potty.
The squatty potty.
Yeah.
I tried one. Somebody gave one to my dad over Christmas. I think it was a funny. I don't know if it was a funny Christmas present or not. I got one of these aunts that like gives. Like she gave me a vibrating pillow one year, and I was like, well, is this a funny? I think it's funny, but
You're
it's
supposed to put that on your pussy, I think.
right. She got him one of these squatty potties, and I used it, but I don't know if it was that much better of a pooping experience. Then I got violently ill the next night. I had to throw it out of the way while I was throwing up in the bathroom. That's a different story.
So yeah, the squatty. So I read that a while ago before this whole product became a phenomenon, and it's such brilliant marketing because they market it as kind of a gag gift that is also practical, and people will buy it. They've made so much money selling this thing. I happen to have a bathtub sink or a bathtub edge that's close enough to my toilet that I can put my feet up if I need to occasionally. So
Yes.
Sounds like a real life.
I have had times when I felt a bit constipated because I may have eaten some undercooked pasta. I don't know.
Too many crickets.
Crickets come out a little bit crunchy, I gotta say. So anyway, I sat on. I love it. So occasionally, if I'm having trouble, busting the loaf out of my butthole, I'll put my feet up on the edge of my bathtub, and I do feel like it comes out a little easier.
I agree.
I have a series of hanging silks in my locker.
So you like a gymnastic toilet?
Yeah.
Sounds hot.
Bathtub isn't enough.
Okay. Yeah, and I have just a bunch of books or sometimes small footstool, put my feet up on them. I don't know. It like does something where it makes you poop better. All right, so another problem with slouching. Headaches, backaches, arthritis, reduced lung function, shortened lifespan. Here's another problem with slouching. People rubbing your hump for good luck.
Is that a thing that happens?
Yes, it absolutely is. In Italy, speaking of Italy, Il Gobbo, the hunchback, is a very popular charm. It's a little hunchback you carry around on your keychain, and you rub his hump for good luck. Like, say, if you're praying to not live with your parents anymore. Like, if you're just, like, really hoping that they'll die so you can have the house to yourself. And you rub that hump. Good luck. When you come home, they'll be dead. Louis Van Zeist, who lived from 1895 to 1915, he was a bat boy, mascot, and good luck charm for the Philadelphia Athletics. For the 4 years, he was like their mascot, essentially. He was a hunchback, and the Oakland A's would rub his hump for good luck.
Oh, so you're saying that slouching's the solution. Guys, vote down slouching.
What I'm saying is, can you imagine living a life where people are constantly trying to grab the huge growth on your back so they can be luckier? You know who's not lucky? The hunchback. Every time you're rubbing that hump, you're like reminding him of the terrible situation he's living in. That's slouching, folks. That's terrible.
Yeah, but if I had a terrible disfigurement on my body, I would want people to view it positively and come up to me and rub me all the time. I mean, I look forward to it.
So you want people to come up and rub your face?
Okay. Real funny.
Now,
How are you going to fix your slouching problem?
Well, I've got two solutions.
I dated a girl that had a hunchback.
Really?
Yeah.
An actual hunchback, or she just slouched?
She slouched, but it was like, it had fucked up her spine.
Oh.
It was long enough.
Well, I mean,
It
did she have
fucked up her spine.
scoliosis, perhaps?
I don't know. Just tune it out. I just remember that part. And she wanted to get this like device that was kind of like I guess it was like a back brace.
Yeah.
And it like had these inflatable things that would like straighten out your spine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I looked it up and I think it's scary.
Well,
I don't know if this is gonna last.
I'll tell you what.
And you're married today.
Yeah.
Serious, on the point of slouching and body language, again, I've recommended this book in the past, and I'll recommend it again. The definitive book of body language. I read this book, and I could not put the thing down. I picked it up, flipping through it, and I read it from start to finish. I changed my posture. I changed things about myself that I never do anymore, based on this body language.
Like what?
Well, for example, I never cross my arms. Crossing your arms closes you off to the outside world. Yeah. And people always make an excuse for why they're crossing their arms. They say, I'm comfortable this way, or I'm cold, or whatever. If you're actually cold, that may be the case, but more often than not, if you say you're comfortable crossing your arms, it's a self-defense thing. And it closes you off to the outside world. I can tell how good or bad meetings are going based on whether or not you cross your and they'll be great on top of each other. If you have confidence posture, you're less likely to get fucked with when you're walking away with that. You've got fake wallets, you've got body in the last 6 months alone, I found 200 a dime bag of coke and birth control plan B in the gut. As well as condoms on the street. And that's just what fell out of my car. I saw condoms on the street, human shit on the street. I watched somebody climb into a neighbor's house to rob it as I was on the phone with police. Yeah, I think about it pretty frequently. Yeah.
City of Dreams, Los Angeles. I'm a standing desk asshole because I had terrible back pain my whole life. I remember literally telling my pediatrician back to when I was like 14, my back always hurts. What the fuck do I do? Until I started to have a bigger standing desk asshole, and my back pain was absolutely gone away. I don't know what, I'm not like a scientist or an ergonomist, like, I don't know exactly what it is, but I was like, I'll fucking try anything. I'm so tired of going to bed with back pain and waking up with back pain, and becoming a standing desk asshole actually worked.
Hey, can I say something? There's about lower back pain specifically. Howard Stern a long time ago pitched this book on his show. It was called the Mind Over Back Pain. It's called something like that. And so I dated these girls in the past who had excruciating back pain. So bad, so bad that they would cry consistently. They wouldn't be able to sleep. They wouldn't be able to go any place and sit down for long periods. I couldn't even go to a movie with them because their back hurt. So I got them this book that Howard Stern recommended, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Both of them, within reading this book, within a week, their back pain disappeared. And it's not to say that all back pain doesn't exist. It definitely does, and posture may have something to do with it. However, 80% of it is psychosocial. 80% of it is your body manifesting stress and, your mind and physical pain in your lower back. That happens all the time, and I can't recommend this book highly enough. I'll put it on the website.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely believe that. It's not to say that people with back pain are crazy, but I feel like we keep our stress in different places, and I feel like our muscles feel people like us who are super stressed out. I mean, David, you would obviously stress out anything, you know? So
it's a good excuse for not going to movies with you, too. Yeah. My back hurts so much.
Pile it on. Anything else you want to add this time? Chinese accent or anything?
No, they do pretty well.
Okay.
So sorry. Anyway.
I keep all my stress in my day.
And you need girls to work it out, don't you? Exactly. And does it make you feel better?
Yeah, whatever.
It doesn't?
Big ass girls to rub it for good luck.
Yeah, so there you go. That's a good gimmick. So, I say become a standing desk asshole. And the other thing is, a friend of mine gave me this advice for my posture, and it is the only thing that is stuck in my head about how to sit up straight, or how to stand up straight and walk straight. She told me that in an acting class once, she was told by her teacher to imagine that someone was putting hooks through your nipples and put chains on the end of those hooks and was pulling you around by the nipples by these chains. So I'll show you guys what it looks like.
Okay, serious stand up. Know what it looks like. That's not going to work if you're talking off the mic.
I'm super loud. They'll be able to hear me.
Okay.
Now imagine us being pulled around by these nipple chains.
As serious as walking around like Frankenstein.
You're just walking around like a normal person. Do you need it to be nipple related?
It's the only thing that I've been able to remember, because every time I go walking, I imagine someone jamming hooks through my nipples, because it's such a visceral, disgusting image. And as a result, it's worked. People have all these tricks, like, I've heard chiropractors say, like, imagine there's like a string coming out of the top of your head and you're straightening it. Well, you'll forget that in 5 seconds. Imagine this. Imagine you have a book on your head. Yeah, you'll forget that. Nipple hooks. you'll remember nipple hooks.
True.
You guys will never forget nipple hooks.
Yeah,
Very
no,
true.
that's a good visceral image to
It opens up a whole new world of porn too.
It sure does.
We know what that guy was into.
Yeah. Let me introduce you guys to my friend, the Wishmaster.
How much was the acting class? Someone paid to lecture about nipple hooks?
It was actually.
The tip that my trainer gave me a long time ago was to stand up against the wall and that your shoulder blades and the back of your head should be able to touch the wall at the same time. And I think that was never supposed to be done. Just practice standing up against the wall. That's what you do to picture your spot. Anyway, is that it?
Practice, good problem.
Alright, good problem, guys. Thank you, Stuart, thank you, Dick. Great problem, but I got the real big problem in the movie this week. Celebrity prom request.
This morning we're trying to close.
No, dickhead. It's celebrity prom request. This isn't a millennial problem, or maybe it is, Dick. I don't know. Because it's something that I never heard of until recently.
Got a lot of actors asking you how to resume.
Yeah, actually. So, and maybe they can paint it to look like a woman.
Alright, run her out of the house.
Yeah.
Fuck you! Are you serious? So hard to Are you brainwashed? You think Ronda Rousey's hot? She's hot as shit.
I think she's got a hot face. I think she's got a hot body. You know what attracted to like a powerful, cool celebrity woman?
Fuck no. Welcome to 1984. There's two guys from Ronda Rousey. She's hot. What's wrong with Ronda Rousey? You guys got hooked to more than your nipples. But you know that's your problem.
I'm gonna call up some hot pictures.
Please, I'm a hunchback. So I'm skeptical about your scale here, buddy. Okay, anyway. Celebrity prom requests are a big problem because, guys, how much do we have to shame celebrities into doing this stupid horticultural publicity for like every time, it seems like every few months, if you have a picture of Ronda Rousey, let's see. Oh my god, that's fake, it's serious. That's fake. It's not her. Wait, so there's not a picture of Ronda Rousey?
Oh, is this crazy? It's a Photoshop thing. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Alright.
Perhaps that's what you're basing your
I am.
That's a fake Photoshop.
What about this picture of Ronda Rousey?
It's a full-on spring eagle picture of Ronda Rousey being penetrated. It might be fake Photoshop.
I don't know. I'll have to do some more investigation when you guys are done. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and investigate.
Yeah. Not my bathroom. Get out. Celebrity prom requests, it seems like every few months there's a new one. And they're all the same. They're all the same bullshit. I don't remember the first one started. It was kind of big on that. Around 2005, 2006. I don't remember them not. So bad. Listen to this one. This is a guy asking straight up and after prom. What do people do? Yeah, so this is a kid who's asking out a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model, cover model, to his prom. You know, well, they may have gone to prom before, so why not?
It's actually annoying. You wouldn't beat the shit out of that kid? Are you kidding me?
I'm not. Well, here's no, I'm not. Here's the conclusion to that asking out.
How did you finally accept it? I don't know yet. I think it's still maybe someone folks that say no, someone folks that say she's still thinking about it, but I know one thing for sure, maybe obviously doing all the other some girls are usually very into mental stuff, you know?
Yeah, she's very busy, shithead. She's too busy to go to your fuck-ass high school prom. Why don't you have some of the girls out in your fucking prom? Because that's your level right now.
I want to kill you. I want to kill him.
Yeah, blah, blah. That's from So Big Tonight. So they interviewed this kid, and he's just a spaz. And the news, especially morning talk shows, eat this shit up. They love it so much because it's just an excuse to shame celebrities into going out to these like hokey little high school things. And what happens is if the celebrities turn down a high school student, then they seem like a villain. So suddenly they're a bad guy. For doing nothing more than existing and being successful at their career, being the height of their field, suddenly, by turning down some shithead high school student because you're too fucking busy with your life and career to take time out to fly to butt-fucking Egypt to go to some shit high school prom with some loser, that now you're a villain because you turned him down.
Well, what's this just saying that they're like out of the country with that? And nobody's gonna follow that up.
No, Sean, because these news stories, these morning shows pick up the story and then they put it out there. Yeah, they check in. Then you have a Twitter campaign, and then you have people harassing them on Twitter.
Hashtag make me hate on the day of the prom.
Yeah,
I think they can get out of this without any.
Well, I don't know. It's just annoying. It's just like fucking stupid and annoying.
Are you guys annoyed on behalf of the celebrity?
I'm just annoyed, period, that like these fucking nerds are making these videos begging these it's just like it's such a look at me attention thing. I don't know, it's just really annoying.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
You know.
So would you not go to the comments comment if they asked you? Like 16 years old, actually,
How hot is it still? That's the thing. If super hot dudes were asking to Kate Upton to the prom, I don't think this would be a story. The story is always hunchback loser nerd begs supermodel to go to prom with him and hopefully give him a hand job. That's the story.
You think they're hoping for a hand job?
If you're a realist, you're like, look, maybe I need a hand job out of this. The worst ones are,
you're thinking I'm going to bang a hot chick at school if I take nothing to me. Attention. They're all going to want to come over and talk to her. I'll be king of the school forever.
Yeah, but it's usually senior prom or junior prom. But senior prom, like, you're done with school. It's the last thing that you do. So you're out the door. You're not going to bang the losers in high school. Who cares? If you know those girls anyway, they suck at sex. High school sex sucks.
the worst prom request to me are always the military ones.
Yeah, I know.
There's the extra layer of I'm fighting for a freedom level. You don't go to the Marine Bar and you're like, you're the greatest stuff ISIS is dead.
Let's do it. Speaking of Ronda Rousey, here the clip. I was still asking Ronda Rousey.
Hey, my name is Scott Patrick, the United States Marine, stationed out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina. You are my celebrity crush. This is why it would be my honor to take you to the Marine Corps Ball on December 11th. I really hope this doesn't get in the way of your training for your next fight in January.
Yeah, the fight that she lost.
Because she went to the she did go to the prom.
She went to the prom
and she lost the fight. Case closed.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I hope this doesn't get in the way of your training. Yeah, it probably does, shithead. She doesn't have time to go to butt fucking wherever you are and go to the prom with you. Thank you for your service. God bless America. You know, thank you for your sacrifice for our country. But fuck off. You're not gonna get a date with Ronda Rousey. She's too busy with living her career and her life, man. Can you take time off from the field to go to Ronda Rousey's show? No. Your drill instructor's gonna kick your ass if you try that shit.
Look, yeah, I'm with you on this one. I just think it's like
fuck celebrities. Fuck their time.
Look,
so what?
Look.
They're just getting more attention by going to the stupid prom anyway.
Look, I'll play the world's smallest violin for celebrities. I just think this is part of annoying YouTube look at me culture where every single kid has to go viral. Where it's like every kid's dream now is to be on the news. You know what I mean? And like, look, I feel like we're a little bit different. We're all entertainers and comedians. Like, you know, you guys have written successful books. You guys, you know, you're at the theater every night. You know, you got your third or fourth book on the way. It's like, I feel like it's different for us. Like, we're trying to make art here. It's super annoying that there are people that want to be famous for being famous' sake. And it's like, you want to bitch about millennials? That's fucking millennials.
John, would you say that the YouTube generation is a big problem?
Yes.
Yeah, you would? Because how big of a problem would you say it is? Not big enough. Is it big enough to bring in?
Wait, do you deal with YouTube kids all day? Is that your job?
No, it's a very inside joke. Sean, should we give him a... No, I don't care. Sean, the last time when we...
that was...
Yeah, that was Sean's problem that he was supposed to bring in for, what, our 50th episode?
Yeah.
56? And then we ended up having Cool Sean bring it instead.
Cool John didn't do a good job.
It was pretty funny. Anyway, here's one from Mila Kunis. And listen to how much she Mila Kunis. Here's one from Mila goodness, listen to how much she was guilted for this date. And this was during an interview she was doing for promo for her fucking job, for her new movie. Perfect. Listen to this.
Maybe I'll start warm, so she can call me Scott. I just want to take a moment out of my day to invite you to the Marine Corps Ball on November 18th, Greenville, North Carolina. With yours truly. So take a second, think about it, get back to me.
Is he sitting next to a fucking copy machine?
He was walking.